Trump yesterday, after the stock markets closed, announced sweeping tariffs that are going to impact countries and trading partners worldwide. Investors are now scrambling to figure out which companies to hold on to, which companies to sell, and which companies to buy on the dip. I will have a lot more videos coming out because of the increasing need for information to make decisions. In this video specifically, I want to talk about Microsoft, how it's going to be impacted by the tariffs. I'm going to look at two specific ways Microsoft's going to be impacted by the tariffs and answer if Microsoft stock is one of these stocks you can buy at these lower valuations, or if it's one of these stocks that you need to avoid given the economic difficulties.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
So given the sell-off, Microsoft stock is now selling at the cheapest valuation according to the forward price to earnings ratio, going back at least 1 year at a forward PE of 25. Investors have scarcely had an opportunity to buy this company at these low valuations. But before I answer if it's a buy or not, let's talk about the two ways Microsoft will be impacted as a result of the tariffs. The first, and I think the strongest, most negative way Microsoft will be impacted is on the buying side. Microsoft has indicated it will be spending close to $80 billion in capital expenditures this year alone in building out its data centers optimized for AI. The things that Microsoft is buying, components for these data centers to build these data centers, the cost of those are likely to rise meaningfully as a result of the tariffs. So Microsoft is going to pay higher prices for less capability in artificial intelligence. That could result in Microsoft changing its plans for the rest of 2025. It could result in Microsoft delaying some of those spending, canceling some of those plans, and altogether changing its outlook in the trajectory for building these data centers optimized for AI. It's not good news for Microsoft in that regard. It's going to be negative. Remains to be seen how negative it will be. But the offsetting factor is that the industry is going to face those higher costs. So Microsoft's competitors in the space are likely to feel the same heat, and they're likely to pull back their spending as well. I just did a video about Meta Platforms and how they could be signaling a pause or slowdown in their AI spending as well. So that's the first impact, the negative impact from the tariffs to Microsoft's business. The second impact is on its end customer demand. Microsoft's primary end customers, or I shouldn't say primary, it's probably equally weighted now. Microsoft has become a business that sells to enterprises and consumers. The part I'm going to talk about is Microsoft sales to enterprises, which are likely to be most negatively impacted as a result of the tariffs. If the companies that Microsoft is selling to are experiencing declines in consumer demand as a result of higher prices and higher costs for the products that they're selling, they are likely to delay spending on Microsoft's products. Microsoft sells subscription services to products like Office 365, Windows, and cloud services. Microsoft also sells physical products like their tablet and their notebook devices. They also sell the Xbox gaming console, but that's to consumers, not enterprises. So their end market demand for both consumers and enterprises are likely to be negatively impacted as a result of the tariffs. The enterprise side, I would say, is more exposed to the negativity from the tariffs, while the consumer side is also going to experience negative demand as a result of the increasing tariffs, but not as strongly as the enterprise side, in my opinion. Overall, Microsoft's business will be negatively impacted as a result of the tariffs in those two ways most significantly. There will be other ways and other impacts its business will face as well. There will be some offsetting factors too. One factor has already came into play, and that is lower interest rates. Microsoft can now borrow at lower interest rates because the yields on government bonds and the yields on borrowing have declined as a result of the declining economic activity. Still, I think the negative factors will outweigh the positive factors way more meaningfully. So this will be a net negative, a net meaningful negative for Microsoft, according to the way I've interpreted things so far. But there are so many moving parts to this. It's going to require constant monitoring. Already this morning, President Donald Trump announced some exclusions to the tariffs, specifically to the semiconductor industry. Semiconductor chips, it looks like, are going to be exempt from the newly announced country tariffs. So there's a lot of moving parts to adjust and digest the information from. But as it stands, it's going to be negative for Microsoft. But the valuation reflects that. It's now trading at a forward PE of 24.85. Also, when I calculated my discounted cash flow model, which I updated today to account for these most recent tariffs, the intrinsic value per share I calculated for Microsoft is $467 a share. The current market price is $373. So it looks undervalued whether I look at it from my DCF perspective or from a forward price to earnings perspective. So updating my recommendation for Microsoft stock, do I think it's one of the companies you can buy here among this volatility? I think so. I think Microsoft is one of these businesses that it looks like a buying opportunity amid this chaos, especially if you just put it on your watch list and it falls down another 5 or 10%, then it really becomes an attractive company to own at these lower valuations that you haven't really seen with Microsoft stock in several years. You don't usually get to buy a company of this quality at this much of an undervaluation. But of course, there's a reason for that, and that is all of the increase in risks that just now happen as a result of the announcement of tariffs worldwide.
Hey everyone, I'm excited to announce a brand new private Discord for our channel members at the VIP Discord level. It's a great place to connect with me directly, engage with like-minded investors, and learn more and take your investing to the next level. Spots are limited, so join now before it's too late.